today I want to start a mini series of micro-learning videos, which means 5 to 10 minute videos that will help you to develop an understanding of executive functioning, how it impacts specific learning difficulties, and I'll also be giving you some tips on how to improve certain areas of your executive functioning. But just to give you an overview of what executive functioning is, we can compare that to the air traffic control center at a busy airport, which helps to land planes safely and help them to take off safely. Another analogy that we can use is that of a conductor of an orchestra. Within an orchestra, you can have very talented individuals, but if you don't have a good conductor, that orchestra can still sound like a cacophony. That just illustrates to you the importance of executive functioning. And we refer to things like impulse control, emotional control, flexible thinking, task initiation, planning, prioritization, organization, working memory, and self-monitoring. Now, the way these things can impact us when we have specific learning difficulties varies from person to person. Two people with the same diagnosis will not have the same impact on their executive functioning. But we can get a general idea of which areas are potentially more impacted than other areas. So, for example, with dyslexia, very often things like working memory is affected, but you could also have things like your planning, organization, and prioritization impacted. With dyspraxia, on the other hand, that planning, organization, and prioritizing of tasks are a big area. That's part of the diagnosis of it. And working memory are often also impacted. But you may have areas like emotional control and task initiation and things impacted as well. With ADHD, it depends on what type of ADHD you have. So, for example, if you have got the impulsive hyperactive type, obviously your impulse control is going to be affected more. When you have the inattentive type, the task initiation is going to be impacted more. But all these areas, impulse control, emotional control, task initiation, the planning, prioritization, and organization, self-monitoring, and working memory, they're all impacted by ADHD. If you have autistic spectrum disorder, again, it can vary vastly from person to person. All these areas could be impacted, or you could have great strengths in things like planning, prioritizing, and organization. But then when it comes to flexible thinking, if that plan that you made is not going according to plan, that can impact your emotional control, and it can offset you. So you can see how it varies from person to person, and it's not, as I said, a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. So over the next few sessions, we will be looking at each of those areas, and we'll start with working memory, as working memory is often the one thing that are impacted by all of the different specific learning difficulties. And we'll look at what working memory is and some strategies on how to improve our working memory. So keep an eye out for our videos. I'm very excited, and until the next one, take care.